everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Quick story time on how I found out that one of my closest friends at the time was black. I found out at her actual wedding that I was in that she was black. Okay. So check it. I used to do hair. I did celebrity hair. Okay. I did people's hair from NXT, is it AEW, whatever the fuck it's called, the independent label, and WWE. I've done people's hair that love and hip hop. I've done a lot of people's hair, okay? But this one in particular, this person in particular, we ended up getting really close after I ended up doing her hair and helping her hair grow, okay? As we got closer and everything like that, she invited me to her wedding. At this time, we are just mutual, like, I'm still her hairstylist, okay? She invites me to her wedding. So I said, okay, of course I will go. Something happens where somebody dropped out of her wedding, and during the course of planning her wedding and some shit, and we have, at this point when someone drops out of her wedding, we have gotten closer to the point where we're almost like best friends. Okay, so she asked me to be the fill-in, stand in for her wedding. I said, great, of course. So at her wedding, I'm doing everyone's hair, and I'm also in the wedding. And also, I didn't mention my daughter was in her wedding too. My daughter ended up falling sick, so she couldn't walk down the aisle. But yeah, this wedding was televised on TV. Okay, I had known this lady for almost a year and a half, 2 years, and we were really close. We were really fucking close. This woman, okay, her mom is white, her dad is black. I'm getting to the point of knowing how I found out that she was black. Have you ever had a friend that only dated out of her race? Like that friend that always says, well, I never dated black guys. They never really liked me like that. Or I never really tried to, because that just isn't my thing. I don't like hood stuff. I don't like hood guys. They always try to compare the hood to being black. You feel me? She was that person, okay? And when she dated anybody, she embodied the person that she was dating, their culture, okay? Their culture. She dated a Hawaiian man. So she ended up doing the haka and shit. She ended up like embodying the Hawaiian man's shit, whatever. The Vietnamese guy she dated, she ended up embodying his culture. Now the husband she has now, he's British. So now, of course, she embodied the British culture or whatever. But we spoke all the time. I had been to her house and everything. I ended up finding out that me and her younger brother went to high school together in Virginia. In Virginia. I met her in Florida. Didn't know anything about her, nothing. But I ended up going to school with her brother in Virginia. Okay, whatever. Didn't know it. But anywho, fast forward. We're at the wedding, all right? We're doing hair. We're doing all that good shit. I started to notice that the sides for the husband and the side for the bride, this husband's side had a whole bunch of people that were white there. A whole bunch of people. Like a whole bunch of people that were white. Okay? Then I noticed out of all those white people, it was maybe 9 black people. And be mindful, I am the only black person. I think, isn't anybody else black? Another black person. It's only 2 black people there. That's me and another bridesmaid. Only 2 black people there, okay? So when I see the 4 or 5 or 7 black people that's sitting out in the audience before the wedding starts, I ask, who are those people? Because I don't think that they know the bride. I don't think she's never told me her father was black. Never told me her father was black. She always told me that she was Hispanic or all this other shit beyond being white and black. So I go and I asked one of the older ladies, I said, hi, how are you? I'm Holly. Who are you? She tells me she is the bride's grandmother. Okay, the bride's grandmother. I said, oh, wow. Like biological? She's like, yeah. Then I meet her father, who is black as this motherfucking, black as this. I meet her father, and I was dumbfounded. I was taken aback because I sat there and I thought, damn, I've been with this chick for I don't know how long, been around her talking or anything like that, and I never knew she was black. I never knew she was black, and I also realized that in that very moment, she was embarrassed about being African American. Because once we started talking more, I asked where the rest of the family was, and they were not invited to her wedding. She did not invite her own sisters to her wedding. Her black sisters, she did not invite. Her side of the wedding, like the male side was full of people. Her side was full of nobody. It was like 7 or 8 people that was on her side for the wedding. And I realized, I asked her, I said, hey, why didn't you invite more of your family? She said, I did, but they didn't want to come, or she just didn't feel the need to. They didn't get invited, they didn't get an invite, whatever. But I realized that in that very moment, she was very, very embarrassed about her blackness. And it was so eye-opening. It was so eye-opening, the fact that when I used to speak to her about it all the time, about why she didn't date black men, why she didn't have a lot of black friends, and why she associated herself with white people all the time. And every time she mentioned black people as if she was not black, it was always something negative. It was always something negative, especially about black men. And then to think the person that she is married to, I'm gonna leave that alone. He's a white short man that has the Napoleon complex, like shit. Like, seriously has Napoleon complex. And he does not really care for black people like that. All like, if you're not making money with him, you won't see him with too many black people. You really will not. And the things that he say, it borderlines bigotry. But yeah, her dad was there, and he was the biggest black man I've ever fucking seen in my life. That nigga looked like the motherfucker off the Green Mile. Off the fucking Green Mile. And he was so proud of her. Speaking on her, he was proud. Like, he was proud as fuck of her. Proud as shit. And I feel in my heart that he is really disappointed by the fact that no one knew that she was black, because she never owned her blackness until that day. She had no choice because her wedding was televised. And to this day, I feel like if her wedding never made it to television on the WWE network, no one to this day would know that she was black. And no, she is not white passing. She is not white passing. But yeah, it was so fucking crazy that I spent that much time with her and I did not fucking know that her father was black. At all. Like, at all. Her mom don't even fuck with white men. Her mom is married to a black man now. Their dynamic is fucking weird as shit, but either way, she's married to a black man now. And I just never understood why. Well, her brother, he looks black. He's darker than me. Her brother looks black. Her brother looks like, he doesn't look like he was ever birthed out of a white woman, ever. Her brother looks like, same mom and dad. Her brother looks like, he's the same complexion as Bow Wow. Maybe a little darker. His wife is white too. But it's crazy to me that someone can go their whole life embodying everyone else's culture except their own, when black people have the best culture on the fucking planet. On the fucking planet. Like, no one knew that she was African American. Not even the people that she worked with knew that she was African American, not until her father walked her down the aisle. That was crazy. No one knew that she was black. No one knew. Her husband knew. But her friends, her associates, her acquaintances, no one knew she was black, because she never once told nobody, and she would allow you to think whatever she was. People thought she was Native American because her gimmick for wrestling was Native American. Her gimmick, her costume, her stuff that she portrayed was Native American. So for the longest, I thought she was Native American until I met her mother. Until I started digging, not digging, but until I got invited places and she forgot the lies that she told me in the very beginning, and they started to catch up with her when I met her family. It was crazy. It was super fucking crazy at that wedding. And for her to have sisters and not invite not one of her sisters to the fucking wedding and think that she's above or better than them was baffling to me. And when I asked her, why do you think that you're better? Why do you think they're so bad? The things that she would tell me describing her sisters was like, yeah, she's a normal black girl. But it was so embarrassing and demeaning to her, the way her sisters portrayed themselves, the way they looked and whatnot, call them ghetto. I gotta do a part 2. People keep asking me, how didn't you know? I said in the first video, she was someone that embodied the personality of whomever she was dating, okay? And she also told me that she was a mutt, okay? She told me she was mixed with everything but black. Everything. Her mom was Cuban, some other shit, Dutch. She told me everything but African American. When she spoke about her dad's family, it wasn't that much like she didn't speak on him that much. And I'm not one to pry in someone's personal business. If it didn't come up, it didn't come up. But yeah, after me finding out at her wedding, when I first laid eyes on her father, that he was African American, our conversations after that went differently. Because I asked her.
All right, just for context, I want to show y'all something. Uh, this is what's on Google. Her name is Renee Michelle, and it says an American professional wrestler known for her work in WWE's Mae Young Classic, Shine Wrestler, and various independent promotions like MCW. She is characterized as having a diverse ethnic background, including Cuban, Native American, Italian, Irish, Spanish, French, and German heritage. Now we can keep going.
Why didn't you tell me your dad was black, like an African American man? She said she didn't think it was important. She didn't feel the need to. That is when she opened up and told me that her dad was from, I think, Alabama, somewhere down south, like down south, like farmland type down south. And her grandmother, when I met at the wedding, was an English teacher or whatever teacher. And then she opened up and told me how she grew up down south with her grandmother. And her mother didn't raise her. Like I said, a lot of stuff happened and was talked about that made us not speak anymore. But the reason that we are not friends to this day is because when I found out that she was a black woman and she grew up being raised by a black woman, not a white mother, but because she grew up, the older woman I met at that wedding that I shook her hand, she had to be like 70 something. She was so dark but beautiful. I didn't know that that's the woman that raised her, did everything for her. Yet, in the same breath, she was ashamed. She wouldn't tell anybody that she was African American. So after her wedding, things between her and I, it changed because I held her accountable and we had very uncomfortable conversations in regards to it. Conversations that we had to the point where we stopped seeing each other every day and every other day. We stopped talking to each other every day and every other day. It got real heated. And she started making poor choices. Should I say? She started making very, very poor choices. But for those people asking me, how could you be so close to her? Because in the very beginning, I was teaching her about black culture, being an ethnic woman, not knowing that she was mixed with black, but just being a cultured ethnic woman, period. Because when I saw her, I knew she was not white. I knew she wasn't white, but I didn't know what she was. I knew that she was a minority. Okay? And I knew that down south in Florida, where I met her at, that is the exact way people will perceive her. Outside of her privilege, or outside how she looks outside of her workforce. You feel me? But yeah, she stopped getting grace from me the moment I realized that she was perpetrating. Her grandmother from down south raised her. Her grandmother, no, I just lied. Her grandmother's from somewhere down south in Florida. They are the ones that raised her. That is why they were the only ones that were invited to the wedding. The 7 or 5 or it was 2018, so it was so many years ago. But the handful of people that came, the 5 or 6 people that came that were invited from her dad's side of the family, that is the only reason why. And when I found out what I needed to find out, we did not speak. We lost touch. And even after going 5 years not speaking, we reconnect. And yet we are stuck in the same place because what the fuck I won't do is fold. In every lifetime, I will be pro-black. And I will hold every black person accountable. What I won't do is lead with judgment. That is how I got that far of knowing her. Because I didn't lead by judging her. You feel me? But the moment I realized what he was, I did what I had to do. We're not friends anymore. We're not associates anymore. And like I said, the final straw was when in July I posted something online that I went very viral for. And she saw it and she asked me to take it down. And she told me that she did not like what I had said. And what I had said was that I didn't give a fuck that those young girls had died in that flood in Texas, because black people die all the time. Natural disasters and things happen all the fucking time. And no one moves a muscle. And I stated that in order for things to happen equally in this United States of America, white bodies will have to fall. White people will have to die. Because white people are the only people that are respected, or were respected in this country. You guys are finding out that they don't give a fuck about you guys either. But because it's happening to you all, you're waking up. And because I said what I said, she told me that she had a white mother, she has white uncles and shit, and her husband's white, and she didn't like that, and it was fucked up, and this, then, the third, and I should take it down. And I told her polite to kiss my motherfucking ass. You don't ever gotta fucking speak again. I don't give a fuck. Because when Black Lives Matter, you spoke nothing. Palestine, you spoke nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, she kind of got a point there, because just until last week when that dude Alex in Minnesota got killed, when Alex got killed just for being there, white people realized they don't give a damn about y'all. Quickly, they was like, wait a minute, nigga, y'all not supposed to kill us. We supposed to get a pass. Well, no. They quickly turned on y'all when they said, oh, he had a legal firearm. Now, we could go pop political all we want to. He had a legal firearm. It wasn't pulled up. He never pulled it. Actually, they disarmed him. Then they shot him. Now, the DOJ said, oh, he came there to do this. They flipped the narrative. All that nonsense. Y'all could debate all you want to. That's what damn happened. Point proven. Now, we can say all we want to say. If you say it, you got to stand on it. I'm not about to say none of this wild stuff online, but I'm telling you what she said was that when stuff happens to white, y'all, people didn't believe it until stuff started happening to white people. People don't believe in justices until it start happening to white people. Now, I digress. Get back to
Renee, me on here talking about my personal experiences with you. I'm doing this for financial gain. I must need money. Me, the stay-at-home wife that drives the Benz, that lives in a gated community, whose husband has benefits, is a real citizen, that advocates for my people. Me? No. If I really wanted a bag, come here. I would tell everyone how you cheated on your husband and you fucked a barback that worked at Mango's while your husband was live on TV with the WWE. I would tell him how he put you out of your own apartment in Baldwin Park, how your mother had to fly out here groveling to this little white man about a place for you to stay. And yes, I have receipts. Or I would have released to the public what you really look like without your wig. Love. Happy Black History Month.
Well, damn, we didn't know she. That changed the whole story. Okay, we need that story, Holly. How she sleep with a whole bar back at Mango's. Right. So So basically, what they beefing over, of course, we saw the whole story. You don't have to agree with what she's saying, you know, of why you disagree, why she don't speak with her. People have a right to choose who they deal with in their family. There's maybe a reason. If she says she was raised by her family and she doesn't claim them, what I do know is in some families, it's black families, white families, doesn't matter what family you were raised in. A lot of families be hiding them family secrets where Uncle Tony be touching on the nieces. Okay? So maybe she was trying to avoid, the family that was allowing all the mischief behavior, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know. I'm not just gonna sit up here and blame her for not liking her black side of the family. There may be some trauma that we don't even understand and that she don't even care to explain. It may not have anything to do with the black skin that she has. It may have everything to do with the family that she was raised around. And I'm not just creating narratives, I'm just saying we don't know. Okay? And since we don't know, we're not going to bash this woman for not liking her black side of her family. You know, we going to keep it surface level rather than take it too deep because we don't know what this woman is going through. Now, whatever she's going through, she did make it in life. She did make something out of herself. And she is telling people to mind their damn business. And before she have to clap back, and before she does, I think we should. Because if she does come out and say something wild like that, then we're going to get on Holly and be like, girl, you over here messing with this woman about her childhood trauma. You know, it's why you gotta leave people alone sometimes. That's why I said sometimes these story times, it's only a matter of time before these story times backfire on somebody. I love them. I absolutely love them. Keep bringing them. Keep bringing y'all's trauma to the stage. But understand, when real people and real feelings are involved, somebody could get messed up.